Pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the put the pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the put the pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the put the pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the put the pose with the fans. Pose with the fans.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming even though everyone is busy. Today I want to share something important, which is something that will change the way we used to do our daily work.
When I hear the word important, it already feels a bit different, like something that is about to happen.
Yes, there are changes that we will implement after this. Our working system will be enhanced with AI.
I have heard about it before, but honestly, I'm not really sure what the impact will be on us.
I actually think this thing is interesting. Maybe it can help us do work faster.
But I'm also worried. Nowadays, there are many stories about human jobs being replaced by technology.
I understand all your concern, but the purpose is not to replace anyone.
If it did not replace me, but it just supported us, or will it also change the way we work?
It is meant to help us reduce repetitive work so we can focus on important things.
If that's the case, maybe work will be less stressful because we don't have to do these same things many times.
But what if over time it takes over our class? That is what I'm really afraid of.
I also think about the same thing. Sometimes think that how can change later.
I hear all your concern and I want to make it clear again. This AI is not a replacement for humans. Your role is important in every organization.
If that's the case, maybe we need to learn how to use it properly so we don't get left behind.
Yeah, maybe that's the best way so we don't think overthink too much.
At least if we understand it, we will well. Overthink so much because right now we think us still unclear.
Correct. After this, we will have training session so everyone understands how it works.
Since the meeting just now, I keep thinking. Honestly, I still feel uneasy.
What about the AI thing?
Yeah, it's feel like something is going to change. Like I don't know how to big impact really.
That is actually a normal when something new is introduced. Our brain automatically become alert and there is uncertainty.
But what we face is also true. When there is no certainty, it is hard to stay calm.
But I tried to look from another side. Maybe it is an opportunity for us to upgrade ourselves.
Upgrade how? I'm scared we might become not relevant.
Not necessarily not relevant. Maybe only the way work style will change.
And when the way of work change, we also need to change the way we think.
True. If we learn early, we can actually go ahead of others.
But I'm scared of losing control. Like the work we usually do suddenly is not us doing it anymore.
That feeling is normal, but try to think it's not losing, it's just changing.
Sometimes we feel losing, but because we don't feel understood.
I also do think like that, but once I tried to understand, it was as bad as I thought.
I just worry my role won't be important anymore after this.
Your role does not disappear, it evolves. Only the functions.
And every change actually opens new space. We just can't see it yet.
Maybe later we will do it with more meaningful work, not just repetitive tasks.
But it's hard to remove this fear. It just comes by itself.
It's okay to be afraid. What matters is we don't stop because of fear.
Everyone takes different time to adapt. No one becomes okay immediately.
At the end, this is about mindset, not just AI.
Maybe true. I just need a bit of time to understand all this.
I've noticed in the announcement
The team atmosphere has changed. People seem people than usual.
Yes, I feel that too. Like everyone is thinking about their own things.
When something uncertain happens, people naturally become more silent.
And when there is no clarity on who's in the next possible stories. That's what I am worried about. If it continues, it may affect work performance.
I see some already thinking even their work is getting slower.
Sometimes people don't say anything, but in their minds, there are too many.
Silence is actually a form of stress too. It is just a sham burden. Maybe we need to improve our communication so everyone understands the real situation better.
Yes, because now many people feel uncertain and unnecessarily easy to worry.
And when that worry builds up, motivation slowly drops.
True, it's not only because of fear, but because of lack of clear information. So, we need to be more open with security, give them more explanation.
Yes, and not just explanation once, maybe we need to keep listening to them.
Because people don't just need information, they also need to feel safe.
And with folks out there, I need them to think them again. I think that is my responsibility as a leader. I need to make sure that they feel alone in this.
I just tried the system and honestly, it wasn't as difficult as I expected.
How did it help you?
It guided me step by step, so I didn't feel lost.
That's interesting. Something that looked difficult before now feels easier once you try it yourself.
I noticed the something too, and first it felt a bit scary, but after trying it, it's actually okay.
But don't forget, just knowing how to use it is not enough. We also need to understand how it works.
You mean it's not just about thinking about it?
Exactly, we need to understand what's happening in the system. We really truly understand.
Sometimes the things we fear are only scary because we never experienced them before.
True, once we see it in front of us, the fear becomes small.
I think our imagination makes things look worse than they are really are. Reality isn't that bad.
That's why training is important. But moving into understanding.
And when we understand, fear slowly fades away. It might be real, but it still works.
I think if everyone tried it themselves, it would really change their perspective.
Yeah, because when we experience it directly, we don't rely too much on assumption. And that's what we actually need.
others are struggling to stay focused. This is starting to affect our daily approach. I've noticed the same things. Even experienced staff are starting to show signs of burnout. They are not just worried anymore, they are starting to feel overwhelmed. Maybe the information system typically without enough emotional preparation that could be why they are reacting this way. Yes, that's possible. But now we need to find a way to keep the situation. If we leave it like this, performance will definitely drop. We are already seeing the effect. The biggest issue is that loss of confidence in person unsure about what you do. When people don't fully understand something, it is very easy for fear to take over. We cannot let this continue. We need to stabilize the situation. I think we need to rebuild their confidence first. That's what they are lacking the most right now. Confidence comes from support. And confidence that there are not enough empathy. And also from clear information that makes message that make things more confusing. Exactly. We need more structured communication so they don't keep overthinking. Otherwise, they will keep imagining worst case scenarios, and that's even more dangerous. We need to act quickly before it gets worse. Right now, it looks still manageable. Yes, but we need to be consistent. One explanation is not enough.
I feel like I can't handle all of this anymore. Every time I try to focus, I feel like I'm falling behind everyone. It's really exhausting thinking about what might happen next.
That's normal when too many things happen at once, but don't overwhelm yourself first.
I keep thinking about the future, so I'm going to try my own too.
When things feel uncertain, the mind naturally fills in the gaps with assumptions.
You do not have to carry all of that alone when everything in your head is become heavy.
I feel like I'm very fine. Everyone else seems fine.
Not necessarily. A lot of people just look fine on the outside, but you don't know what's going on inside.
And when you compare yourself to others, you always feel like you're the weakest one.
You just need time to adjust. No one becomes comfortable with change instantly.
But what if I'm really not good enough? I'm scared I can't keep up with all this.
It's not about being good enough or not. It's about the nature of the process.
Everyone has their own pace. Some are fast, some are slow.
But that does not mean anyone is weaker. You're just learning something new.
I feel like I'm not good enough before. Like I'm still not good enough.
Actually, you are perfectly fine. You just don't see it because you are too focused on what's missing.
Sometimes we forget what we already achieved because we only look what was not done.
But you are still moving forward, even if it is slow, it is still progress.
So I can still learn even if I am slow. I won't be left behind.
Learning does not have a timeline.
And you're not alone in this. Everyone is adapting together.
The important thing is not to stop because of fear, just keep going if it's slow.
We cannot wait any longer. The team situation is starting to look unstable.
I agree. I have noticed it so. It's already affecting their daily focus at work.
Right now, we need to think about how to rebuild their confidence.
Yes, when confidence drops, everything else becomes slower and less smooth. Maybe we should organize an open forum session so they can express what they are feeling.
That's the idea. Many of them are keeping things to themselves, so we don't really know the real situation.
But when we do it, we need
to make sure our answers are clear, not to be good or it will confuse them even more.
Exactly. We need to be direct about what can and cannot do, so there is not enough understanding.
Yes, transparency is important. The clearer we are, the easier it is for them to accept.
At the same time, we also need to show support, not just listen and stay silent after that. Support has to be continuous, not just a one-time thing. Then we should not delay this anymore. The faster we act, the faster things can always happen.
Alright, let's arrange it as soon as possible this week.
I already noticed improvement in how I do my work. This is the red hat self-time.
That's good, but don't become too dependent on it.
Yeah, actually that's a good sign. It means you are starting to adapt.
I also feel more comfortable now, not like the beginning.
That's because you tried it yourself, not just watch it from a distance.
Exactly. When we try, we start to understand. And when we understand, the fear becomes smaller.
But we must remember one thing, balance is too important.
You mean not relying 100% on AI?
Yes, we still need to use our own judgment. We can't leave everything to the system.
I feel like I'm not that scared anymore. Is it more like, okay, I can handle this now?
That's because you face it instead of avoiding it.
Honestly, when we face it, it's never as bad as we imagine.
True, facing fear reduces its power, but avoiding it only makes it grow bigger.
Even small actions are enough to feel confident. It does not have to be perfect.
I think authors will feel the same if they try it. They just need a little push.
Yeah, sometimes they're scared before even trying, but once they do, it's actually not too hard.
I have been observing the team today. Even though everyone is working as usual, something feels different. Yeah, I feel it too. It's like everyone has become more silent than before.
Not just silent, they feel like everyone is stuck in their own.
When the mind is distracted, it becomes hard to fully focus on work.
What worries me is that they need physical reason, but mentally they are fully here. I have noticed even small tasks are taking longer. They are overthinking too much.
Studying is the favorite part, not knowing what will happen next.
And when someone feels unsafe, they tend to shut down without reason.
That's dangerous. Not everyone will openly say what they are feeling. Exactly, when silence continues for too long, we don't realize the problem is getting hidden.
Silence does not mean everything is okay. Sometimes it means they are struggling.
Sometimes people don't express anything, but inside they are already overwhelmed.
I am worried if we are needing action. Things might get worse.
We can't wait anymore. We need to act now.
Maybe we should approach them individually, not just in a group.
Yes, because everyone reacts differently. Not everyone is comfortable speaking in groups.
Alright, we need to get close to them, so they don't feel like they are going through the same. I have reviewed the feedback from the team. Emotional pressure is still high, even though training has been conducted.
Yes, I noticed that too. They are trying to adapt to the change, but at the same time, they are still afraid. It's clear now that technical training alone is not enough. The issue is not just about using the system.
Yes, it is more about how they think and respond to change, not just their skills.
That's what I'm really worried about. If we don't guide them properly, we might lose their trust.
Trust is very important. If it's lost, it's very hard to rebuild.
That's why we can treat support as a one-time effort. It has to be consistent, not just a single meeting.
Exactly. When support is continuous, only then they feel that we genuinely care.
We need to guide them through this process slowly. We can force them to be okay immediately.
Because everyone takes different time to adapt, this cannot be the same for everyone.
And if we ignore the emotional side, the impact could become much bigger later.
It is not just a system change, it is a change in how humans work and think.
So our focus now is not only on implementing AI, but also making sure the people within the system are not left behind.
Thank you everyone for being here today. This is a safe place, so feel free to share what's on your mind.
If I'm being honest, I'm really scared, not just a little, but truly afraid of being replaced. Thank you for having the courage to say that. Not everyone is able to express it like you just.
You are not alone in feeling that way. Many people are actually feeling the same thing.
That's exactly why we are having a session like this, so no one feels like they are facing in this situation.
I'm just afraid. That's all the work and effort I have put in before we become leaders. That is what weighs on me the most. Everything we have done still has value. That does not disappear just because of system change.
Exactly. There are things only human can do, and those are still very much needed.
But the fear is still there. It comes even when I don't want to.
That's normal. Change is never comfortable at the beginning.
What matters is you are still here, still contributing. That alone already means something.
And we are all learning something right now. No one is being left behind.
AI is just tool to support for our work, not to replace us. Every one of you is still very important to this organization.
After the session earlier, I feel a bit more relieved at least now I know I'm not only listening.
When we express what we are keeping inside, the pressure doesn't feel lighter.
And when we feel that other people's experiences, we start to see the pressure. This problem is early, and that is not easy, but it's really wasted. I'm still there, actually, but I feel like I'm starting to understand things that we are providing.
Understanding doesn't come instantly. It takes time and also experience.
And as we begin to understand how that will really start to slow down. Another is that you have started moving in that direction. You are not understand further and keeping it all to yourself. Yeah, maybe I just need time to get used to it. I can't force myself to be okay right away.
Yeah, exactly. Time and exposure to real situation really help. When we experience things ourselves, we understand the ground better.
That's what I see now. So that is change. You have shown progress even if it's smaller, but it is in progress. I can clearly see change in the team now. They have started to refocus like before. Yeah, even the atmosphere isn't as tense as it used to be. It feels a bit calm. I think because communication has improved and they are starting to feel support. Exactly. When people understand what's going on, that fear naturally starts to be resolved.
This makes us realize that our roles is not just about giving instruction, but helping them go through the change.
True, leadership isn't not only about making decisions, but guiding people through uncertain situations.
And not use all these freedom, everyone in the team has their own role.
That is what makes things more stable now, effort coming from all directions.
I agree. Change is not easy, but when it's handled properly, the results start to show. And now we can slowly see the impact, more controlled, more stable.
Most importantly, people are starting to trust the progress again. That's actually the biggest thing.
Yeah, because teamwork has always been the foundation. We just can't forget it when it's
When I look back at the team progress now, I feel relieved. They've gone through a hard transformation from the beginning until now.
That's true, not just in terms of scale, but in way of thinking has changed. That's actually the most important part of change.
From fear and doubt, they are now starting to gain understanding. Eventually, the process was continually not easy at all. The situation clearly show how people behave when facing change. I was 26, but over the time, they had to adapt very well. And that is actually what we hope for from the start. Not just for them to accept it, but truly grow.
Because with the right support, people can go through change even when it's difficult. They just need continuous guidance.
But for me, the most important thing is patience. Not everyone can adapt at the same pace.
And trust within the team also plays a big role. When people feel confident and safe, it's easier for them to change.
In the end, all of this isn't just about system or technology, but about people learning to adapt and grow.
For we end, remember this clearly. Technology is not designed to replace human, but to enhance human abilities and support for our work.
I used to see AI as a threat, but now I see it as an opportunity to improve myself. I'm still learning, but I'm no longer afraid like before. I know I can adapt. Change is not easier, but when we face it together, it's become easier. The future belongs to those who are willing to learn, adapt, and keep improving. Even change feels scary at first. Change will always come, but it's up to us whether we grow from it or fear it.
Because growth only happens when we step out of our comfort zone.
And today provides that we can adapt if we don't give up too early. We grow with AI, not against it.